Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is February the 18th, 2017. And I have an awesome guest on the show today. It is my privilege and honor to have Bill Still of the Still Report. BillStill.com. We'll have all his links below. I watch him like every day. He's an honest voice in the world of economics and politics. Bill, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, let's just jump right into this because people have actually brought you up on my channel before wondering why Bill doesn't talk about Bitcoin. What brought you into Bitcoin originally? I remember it was back in like 2014. You had a Bitcoin address.
Yeah, it was all over the whole Quark thing. That I was always very skeptical about Bitcoin, and in fact, I think I did several stories about it, how it would never work and all this. And actually, that turned out to be pretty much true. And it went through the whole Quark thing. Quark turned out to be a scam because the guy who was the major developer had millions of quarks, and every morning about 2 a.m. he'd dump another 200,000 on the market, and it totally destroyed the price of it. So I got faked out by that, and so did everybody else. And so I just kind of soured on the whole thing, and then Mt. Gox happened, and so that was further confirmation that this wasn't worth pursuing. And then subsequently, one of the warehouses, Cryptsy or something like that, went completely bust, and I had coins in there. I just neglected the whole thing at that point. So anyway, yeah, I was pretty sour on the whole thing. So
well, what happened to you, that whole scenario you just described, that's part of being involved in the cryptocurrency space. Everybody gets scammed. It's like a lesson we all learn, and we become better people after it. But it's unfortunate because so many people get totally soured to it and then don't want to have anything to do with it anymore. And yet, if people stuck around since 2014, they have realized great profits. But what I was really excited about is I was watching your video like the other day, I think it was yesterday or today, and I noticed you had the addresses there again. You have a Bitcoin address there, and you have another address there too, Cloakcoin. So tell us what's going on. What has changed?
Well, I've always been able to accept Bitcoins, and I don't take up the space to advertise the address very much, but it's always been there, and people, occasionally will send me some Bitcoins. But these Cloak guys really pursued me hard, and basically they explained that they have a new implementation, a new 2.0 of their software that I think it goes online live tonight or something like that. And they explained that they were trying to work out some of the flaws that when I left the whole Bitcoin world, it was right at that point when everybody was discussing, oh, we're going to have to fork the blockchain, because the transactions are starting to overload and all that kind of stuff. And I just went, man, I don't want to spend my life learning all these details. I've got a million other things that I have to learn details of. This thing has ripped me off before. I'm out of here. So anyway, these guys have apparently solved that by, instead of a proof of work, they're a proof of stake coin. Now, I had the rundown in the past 48 hours on all this, and I haven't committed it to memory yet, so I can't really give you a big wrap on it.
Okay. So, I mean, you're giving a great perspective on this because you're a guy, you know a lot about money, you know a lot about politics, but you don't know a lot about cryptocurrency, but you do have this interest, and people are giving you all sorts of different information here. One of the reasons I thought that you might have started to list it again is because I know YouTube has not been they've been demonetizing some of your videos.
Right.
And I thought this was a workaround. And I really feel that other YouTubers and other people who speak the truth, who have to deal with, the mainstream wanting to shut them up, should list their Bitcoin addresses, because anyone from all over the world can send you Bitcoin now. So I don't know if that played a role at all. Did you think about that this might help?
No, but I kind of my take on it is from a bigger perspective beyond the whole Bitcoin world, and that's you know, we're in a very serious time right here, where the forces of dictatorship are attempting to seal the deal on humanity, essentially, and turn us into a state from which we can't escape. And of course, I think that was probably the whole impetus behind cryptocurrencies in the first place, to have an escape route. And many other escape routes are being closed. That all changed with the election of Trump. And so now we're trying to gain back some of the ground. And now I forgot where I was going with that, but in any case.
Well, yeah, yes, I feel that Bitcoin is a tool for freedom of speech also. So it will help promote, it will help guys like Milo, who won't be able to raise funds for other ways, you know, when they get into trouble and everything. So I just think it's a workaround. It's decentralized. You don't have to, the government cannot shut it down, no matter who takes over the government or other governments out there. It allows free flow of money across borders. It's great.
Yeah, but you know, BTC has had its problems. You'll have to admit they have, at the very least, a serious PR problem at this point. You know, they also have a slowness of transaction problem that's ever growing. It makes sense to me. Now, beyond that, there's also in the last big government spending bill, there was some type of banking regulations that, in fact, will be my second story after I hang up on here. The next story I'm going to do is, I just discovered that Russia is about to pay off all of its government debt. There's only one way they can do that, and that's they're not in the bank money system. They've gone completely to the state money system, which is what the United States should do, what every nation should do. We've been scammed into participating into this deal where all money has to be created by banks as an interest-bearing loan. That's not the way it has to be. It should be the other way, where the state creates the money. That's the way. So anyway, I've got to try to figure out a good angle on this. I mean, I'm willing to call up the Russian embassy in DC and say, I want to talk to Putin. This is me. I want to get Putin on Skype and ask him how in the heck he pulled this off, because I know how he did. He got out of the debt money system, and America needs to learn this lesson from them if that's the case. And I'm sure it's the case. There's no other way they could do it. So anyway, then after we get through with that story, then I want to go after this bank bill, which is trying to do just the opposite. Is trying to consolidate banking power across national boundaries into one thing, where they can eliminate cash, they can track all of our transactions no matter what country we're in from a central location, and that's the very essence of, you know, the ultimate dictatorship. And so that's where I'm going today. I'm trying to do all these things.
Now, do you, talking about these different scenarios playing out, who controls the money? What I mean, I remember you were excited about cryptocurrency being a private money. And do you see a future for cryptocurrency still? Do you see a big future that works into what you were just talking about?
Well, yeah, I mean, theoretically it works well. It's just Bitcoin, the first implementation, didn't work out so well. And now maybe I know you're giving me that look like, oh, we've got that all figured out now. Well, I've heard that about 6 different times over the past 6 years, so I don't want to hear it. I mean, it might be true, fine. I'm going to let somebody else prove it's true before I put my time and energy into it again.
Well, all that I ask is that you keep that Bitcoin address up there. I think you will be surprised. I want people to contact Bill about, you know, supporting Bitcoin. You know how, I mean, do another show on cryptocurrency too. You'll get all sorts of interest. I can tell you that. I know that everything is so busy in politics right now. It's been dominating your show, but yeah, you never know. But I do give you credit for putting that address up there. I have one last question. You mentioned Cloakcoin, obviously. Are there any other altcoins that you've heard of, or you just have it all, you don't even pay attention?
No, I don't even do that. I didn't find out until early this morning, about 5 a.m. when I first woke up. Oh, Quark doesn't even exist anymore. I didn't even know. That's how out of touch I am.
Well, it sort of exists. It's just not. You explained it pretty well, what happened to it from what I've heard. But
well, I didn't. I have looked on one exchange. I didn't see it. I'll put it that way.
Oh yeah, well, it's not. it's not being sold probably on some of the exchanges it used to be on, but it's hard to really like erase it from existence. But that's a technical matter. Anyway, I'm glad you took time today to speak to me about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I hope people out there keep on emailing Bill still about it. Do you have any other concluding remarks? Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to say to the people out there?
Well, no. If we can figure out a way to make cryptocurrency work, it will be a blessing to humanity. That's all I've got to say.
All right, that is a beautiful note to end on. Well, I thank Bill Still for being on this show today. It was a great pleasure and an honor. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Check out the notes section below for important links, and you'll get all Bill's information below. Spread the word, tweet this out. I'll talk to you all later. Bye, everyone.